Now.
Welcome to Up North at 4 and congratulations on surviving the ominous yellow skies. Speaking of that, Jeff will tell us why the skies were yellow today. Something about cloud layers, low pressure systems. Honestly, I still don't get to it, but we'll get into that later. Plus, our third episode of Our Changing North. Today we'll talk about walleye, trout, and other fish. We'll get to all of that in a bit, but first, here's your top 4 at 4. COVID cases are still on the rise in the Badger State, and it's affecting local hospital staff. In a press release today, Aspirus officials said around 214 employees are currently not working because of COVID-19. That's about 2% of the entire Aspirus workforce. Some have tested positive while others are just suspected to have coronavirus. Lakeland Union's head football coach Dan Barutha received a top honor from the Green Bay Packers. Barutha was named the Green Bay Packers High School Coach of the Week. He's in his 5th year as coach of the T-Birds right now. Barutha was honored for his work on and off the field. The coach has been instrumental in raising money for sending local veterans on honor flights to Washington, D.C. The Rhinelander District Library is giving away 50 free pumpkins for carving. They were donated to the library by Rhinelander Walmart. Each carver will be entered in a drawing for a $25 gift certificate for Mel's Trading Post. And the best jack-o'-lantern will also get a $25 gift certificate. And while you're at it, just send that picture to me. You might even get a free pie. People's State Bank just announced the start of their annual military care donation drive. The collection acts as a way for everyone to honor and give back to veterans and active military personnel. The public is encouraged to drop off items at the donation bins located at all People's State Bank locations. Donation items needed include non-perishable food items, batteries, blankets, stamps, and toiletries. All items go to Wisconsin military members and veterans. Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller joins us now. Jeff, happy Thursday.
Hey Dan, happy Thursday. Well, if you're thinking about Kraft macaroni and cheese for dinner, it's probably because the skies turned yellow earlier today and orange as well. Those conditions have moved on, but still there's some snow in the area right now as we speak, generally along a line from Rhinelander to Antigo and then back up north into the UP. Seeing lots of snowfall today. The rest of us, though, mostly rain. Here's a very interesting radar right now showing snow Oneida County, Violets County, Forest County, back to Price County. But these are thunderstorms right now across parts of Marathon County, southern Lincoln County, and Portage County, producing heavy rain across parts of central Wisconsin. Meanwhile, along the UP border up here, we have snow, and there is a lot of energy in the atmosphere right now. That snow could be locally heavy at times. Visibility is reduced to 5 miles in Rhinelander, 1.5 miles over in Tomahawk. So you get the idea. There's lots of precipitation in the atmosphere right now. Some of it's rain, some of it's snow. It's going to continue for several more hours tonight into early parts of tomorrow morning. And thus we have a winter weather advisory for the counties you see here in blue, including parts of Oneida, Forest, Florence counties, back to Price County. For snow, already about 2 inches of snow here at the station today. Lots of slush out there as well. Mainly rain, though, across parts of Lincoln County, Marathon County, and Portage County. So let's check on our snowfall so far this snow season. We got our, on the board here, right, our little snowman right there. You see him? There he is. 9.35 inches so far this season, up against 88.4 inches from last season. Before that, though, remember that one? Record setting at 116.3 inches. So future snowfall looks like this. We're talking a line basically from Rhinelander north to Eagle River over to Manitowish Waters. Could see another 1, 2, even 3 inches of snowfall tonight. South of that line, though, all rain and some fog this evening. And then here's the problem. So it's a Colorado low out there right now. These things are notorious for pretty much doing whatever they want, but they stir up the atmosphere a lot. It's moving our way right now, and it's also going to tug down some colder air behind it. So here it comes, exiting the plains as we speak, moving across southern Wisconsin tonight. Behind it, though, we're going to kick in a northwest wind. That is a favorable trajectory for some lake effect snow tomorrow. So we need a cold pool of air. We got that. We need a northwest wind. We got that. So that's going to flow over the wide open Lake Superior tomorrow and enhance some snowfall rates late tonight and early tomorrow across Gogebic Range up along the UP. If you're traveling that way, right along the lakeshore, could see an additional 3, 6, even 7 inches of snow by early tomorrow morning. Temperatures are critical. We're hanging out right near freezing right now at 33 in Rhinelander, 34 for Mosinee. These will actually rise a bit tonight. We're not going to get our meltdown in a good way, but still we'll have temperatures down near 32 overnight, and it's not going to get warmer anytime soon. This is so unusual. The average high is 52. We're going to hang out near 30 the rest of the week. The forecast tonight, though, is rain and snow showers out there. That snow and rain could be locally heavy, with lows down near 32. Your full forecast at 5 o'clock.
It could happen. Nancy Pelosi, Speaker. Chuck Schumer, Leader. And in the Oval Office,
guess what? If you elect me, you're not going to have your taxes are going to be raised, not cut.
it's a guarantee. They'll pass it. He'll sign it.
On day one.
A $4 trillion tax increase on all income groups. And the radical left will keep coming back for more. If they win, our recovery is over. America First Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is an exciting time for people in central Wisconsin who suffer from hip and knee joint pain.
With this innovative technology, we're able to offer patients a total joint replacement that is positioned to match their individual anatomy.
We can perform with pinpoint accuracy, and we're proud to introduce this technology.
With 3D surgical planning and dynamic joint balancing, getting patients back to the things that they enjoy.
Robotic arm-assisted surgery for joint replacement at Bone & Joint. Call 800-445-6442.
Saturday, October 24th, the Wisconsin Department of Justice will be holding a free prescription drug take-back event. If you have unused or unwanted medications, ointments, patches, non-aerosol sprays, inhalers, vials, or pet medication, clean out your medicine cabinets. Don't let your old medication fall into the wrong hands by disposing of unused or unwanted medications properly. For more information on locations and accepted items, go to doseofrealitywi.gov. This information is brought to you by the Human Service Center of Forest, Vilas, and Oneida County.
Every child deserves to be loved, hugged, and to have a voice. And as a foster parent, we live that belief. Sometimes well-meaning government regulations do more harm than good. Nobody would listen to us, so I called Senator Patrick Testin, and we took on the whole Madison bureaucracy. We wrote a bill to fix a major glitch in the Wisconsin foster care system. My name is Dana Kaminsky, and I know a lot of children's lives will be better by the work Patrick Testin and I have done.
Welcome back to Up North at 4. We get to talk weather for the next 3 minutes.
Hey, that's what I say. You can't say that.
Yellow skies out there, Jeff.
Yeah, don't eat the yellow snow.
Don't eat the yellow snow.
But you can breathe the yellow skies.
Okay.
That's my saying for today.
So
what a cool weather day,
it
right?
It was really, really cool.
Did you wake up and think what?
I mean, I didn't think much. I mean, nothing was really going on until it was about 10 or so.
Okay, so a few things going on. Lots of inquiries about the yellow sky-ish today, and it was just in a few select spots. So two things happening here, right? Upper level low approaching from the west today. That's a storm system across Colorado.
Okay.
There are lots of wildfires in Colorado right now.
Okay.
Right, and there is a little bit of smoke in the upper atmosphere that got pulled into a low pressure system, right? Okay. While moving up our direction. At the same time, there were different cloud layers right across the Northwoods for several hours. So the sun made it through the top layer. Okay, here's a picture I took earlier. But then it kind of entered an area where there was just lots of clear skies and a few snowflakes flying around. And then at the surface, down by us, it was kind of a heavier cloud layer, like think of fog, right? A cloud at the ground that we had to look through to see the sun, which was not too far away through that thick layer of clouds. So a little bit of smoke combining with a little bit of precipitation, meaning snowflakes, refracts the light just enough at the surface here at the Earth that we saw lots of yellow and orange and pumpkin and macaroni cheese colored. I mean, it was visible.
So the end is not here. The Armageddon
this is not Armageddon. This has happened before. It's rare, but kind of the perfect combination of things had to come together. Not everybody saw it. Like places down like near Wausau Point, they're like, what yellow sky? But Eagle River over toward our neck of the woods in Rhinelander, back toward Price County, for sure saw this today, as it was actually very cool. And actually, a couple of school teachers called me earlier, and they put me on speakerphone with their classes, and I was describing to their class what's going on. They're like, we're looking out the window, it's a little strange. And think of, when you see a thunderstorm, right? When you were a kid, and if the sky turned green, you're like, uh-oh. Think of the same thing happening here, right? A green sky with a thunderstorm means it's going through hail. The light from the sun is refracting through hail, which to the naked eye, human eye, sees the color green. So that way, if there's hail, there's strong updrafts, it's a strong storm, there's probably or could be a tornado. green skies mean go inside, right? For this is a little different. We had macaroni colored sky for a couple hours this afternoon.
So I was trying to take notes there.
Geez.
I'm trying to make sense of this.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it was 2 cloud layers, one of which was
Way up high.
Way up high, and it was an upper level low from Colorado. And then in between those layers, there was refraction going on by the snowflakes falling.
Right, right. A little kind of a clear area in there.
Okay, and so the sun would go through that top layer.
Make it through.
But then the second layer was thicker,
Yes.
and it wouldn't get through as well. It would refract.
Correct.
Huh.
A lot of science going on there, huh? With a little bit of smoke. A little bit of smoke in there
With
as
a
well.
little bit of smoke.
Right.
Okay. So kind of the really unique, because I haven't seen this before. It feels like something we'd see.
There's the mac and cheese.
There's the mac and cheese. That was not outside. But honestly, it's the same hue, which is just wild. But it just seems like this sort of thing would happen more often. You know what I'm saying? Like what makes it so unique?
It's not every day you have wildfires ongoing in Colorado. It's not every day you get a Colorado low, which is typical for us in December and January, right? Which the atmosphere is really stirred up then, and even less of effect for wildfires out west at that point because everything is snow covered.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Jeff, for that. Thank you for your expertise. We're going to go to break right now, and we're going to do our next episode of Our Changing North. Today we're talking about trout, walleye, and more fish. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Tom Tiffany here. You sent me to drain the swamp 5 months ago. I'm back to report that Congress is not doing their job. But I've been working to reduce our dependence on China, improving rural healthcare and broadband access, taking care of small businesses and workers during a pandemic, protecting the vulnerable, and funding vaccine research. So we can rebuild our economy and get our lives back. I'm Tom Tiffany, and I approve this message.
Hi, Bob Pucci and Rocco for the Anago Gun Show this weekend at the Langley County Fairgrounds on Highway 45, where you can buy, sell, or trade new and used firearms, ammo, knives, optics, and gun parts. Show hours are Friday from 3 p.m. to 8, Saturday 9 to 5, and Sunday from 9 to 3.
Lake Nokomis Cranberry's Wine and Gift Shop is now open. Stop in for a free tasting of our cranberry wine and shop our selection of wines, specialty foods, cranberry soaps, and candles. Lake Nokomis Cranberries, located on County D between Lake Tomahawk and Sugar Camp.
Lake of the Torches Resort Casino. You can count on us for all the hottest slots inside. Sun-dappled water outside. Enjoyment comes naturally here with abundant home-style foods, the most exciting promotions, and the new Lake Club that rewards you for playing. At Lake of the Torches Resort Casino, expect the best of everything every time you visit. Winning's more fun at the lake.
It's a wonderful life, and you haven't got to worry about health care because it can happen so darn quick. So you need to have an insurance company that says, we got your back. To me, it's stability. I don't have to worry about it. And you just have a cup of coffee. Have a piece of pie. Life is good. I'm covered. Don't worry about it.
WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance. Because we care. Call us at 1-800-221-7089.
Welcome to our third episode of Our Changing North. I'm here with Frank Pratt. Frank is a specialist, a fisheries specialist with Wisconsin's Green Fire. Frank, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great today. It's a wonderful day and we're out on the lake.
It is a beautiful day here on Lake Minocqua. Frank, we're going to talk about fisheries today. How are fisheries in northern Wisconsin being affected by climate change?
I can tell you that they're being, all the fisheries are being radically affected by climate change, and I can also tell you, depending on the lake type, and depending on the species in the existing fish community, those effects are not the same. Some fish are being benefited, some fish it is not very good for.
How about bluegill and sunfish? How are they doing in this lake?
Bluegill and black bass, as well as the ictalurids, which would be the bullheads and the catfish, are very much warm water species, and most of the effects of climate change are affecting them in a very beneficial way, at least right now.
Let's dive a little bit deeper into walleyes here on Lake Minocqua. Tell me how these kind of longer summers are going to be affecting them.
Well, longer summers in a lake of this type. This is called a two-story lake. A two-story lake is a lake that has both warm water and cold water species. And during the summer months, the cold water species are pretty much forced to occupy some zone of midwater where there's adequate oxygen and low enough water temperatures. And here the key species that you're dealing with are cisco, Coronis ardidae, which are a major food for walleye in a lake like this. And the reason that lakes like these produce big walleyes is basically the cisco. The other prey species that's involved with walleye would be yellow perch. And yellow perch, just like walleye, are a cool water species, and it looks like they're negatively impacted by climate change in general. So what I'm most worried about in a lake like this, and I'm going to use this as a lake type, and say that Coudray over in Sawyer County is a very similar lake. The growing season is getting so long and the summer is getting so long that we're approaching situations in September where there's not water of adequate water temperature and high enough oxygen. And the cisco are forced to move up into a layer of water that's well enough oxygenated but way too warm for them. And gradually we're causing the cisco population to dwindle and dwindle and dwindle, and eventually it's going to be extincted, and then walleye have lost one of the major high energy prey species.
So it sounds like walleye are not accustomed to warming temperatures of water, and neither are their prey. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there.
It's not so much that walleye are not accustomed to higher water temperatures, because walleye can sustain themselves quite well in water temperatures up to 75, 76, 77 degrees. It's just that their main prey species, the cisco, are long gone before those water temperatures. They're a cold water species. They don't have much ability to adapt to higher water temperatures, and they will be subjected to fish kill type situations.
So walleye, they can survive warmer lake temperatures. However, their prey cannot, and that's really the biggest factor in why their population is decreasing.
That's one of the factors.
Tell me, do you think there will ever be a naturally reproducing population of walleye in this chain of lakes? I know the DNR stocks this lake with walleye every year. Is that too much speculation for you, or what?
No, it's not. That's an easy one. At one time, this lake and many lakes like these supported very low densities, but self-sustaining populations of walleyes, and they're now trending in the other direction where if you need to sustain walleye at all, you're probably going to need some degree of stocking. And I would say it's not very likely that we're ever going to return to a naturally reproducing population of walleye in this lake. There's a lot going on for the walleye, but none of it is good.
Okay. Well, thanks, Frank. Stay with us here. We're going to go to another type of fishery, a trout stream, and talk about trout. That'll be right after the break.
We've been down this road long enough, but Tom Tiffany wants to keep us going in the wrong direction. Even during a pandemic, Tiffany supports taking away protections for pre-existing conditions, kicking millions off their health insurance, and forcing you to pay more. There's another way. Tricia Zunker. Zunker will put our families first with better health care and help for small businesses, workers, and farmers to get our economy moving again. Tricia Zunker for Congress.
I'm Tricia Zunker, and I approve this message.
Your local Goodwill has been the Halloween headquarters for generations of trick-or-treaters. Stop in and create your one-of-a-kind look. With new to you items arriving daily, Goodwill has everything you need for adding flair or scare to your Halloween. Plus, every purchase you make supports more than 1.5 hours of job training and opportunities for people with barriers to employment in your community. How's that for a treat? Goodwill. Donate, shop, bring good home.
We took a bad economy that was falling and turned it around. Trump took a good economy and drove it back into the ditch. Through his failure to get COVID under control, his failure to deliver real relief to working people. Does he not understand and see the tens of millions of people who've had to file for unemployment this year so far? The people who lost wages while the cost of groceries have gone up dramatically? Donald Trump has been almost singularly focused on the stock market, the Dow and NASDAQ. Not you, not your families. My plan will help create at least 5 million new, good-paying jobs and create them right here in the United States of America. Let's use this opportunity to take bold investments in American industry and innovation so the future is made in America. I'll be laser focused on working families. Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Tomahawk Sports Center is northern Wisconsin's one-stop shop for UTVs, ATVs, snowmobiles, boats, and motors, watercraft, docks, and waterfront equipment with a large selection of products like Ski-Doo, Sea-Doo, Can-Am ATV and UTVs, Manitou and Godfrey pontoons, Alumacraft fishing boats, Evinrude Service Honda and Yamaha outboards. Tomahawk Sports Center is your next stop for fun. A family-run business with a long history of personal service before and after the sale. When you think fun in the Northwoods, think Tomahawk Sports Center.
Welcome back to Art Changing North. This is our second part of our Fisheries episode. I'm still here with Frank. Frank is with Wisconsin's Green Fire. We talked about lakes and the walleyes, bluegill, sunfish that inhabit those lakes. Now we're going to talk about rivers and streams, and specifically trout. Frank, what can you tell us about trout?
We're here on a Class 1 trout stream called Michigan Creek. I know nothing about it, but I have many streams in my area that look like this. And I would invite people that are watching this segment to go on the Wiki, Wisconsin Institute for Climate Change website, and there are some maps there that you can drill down either brook trout or brown trout that will predict what the likely status of the trout population in that stream would be by the turn of the century under worst case and best case scenarios. And in the worst case scenarios, brook trout are going to disappear in our stream, be totally extincted to the point about 85% of the brook trout streams are going to disappear. With brown trout, it's a little bit better. Brown trout are a little bit more tolerant of warmer water. But in both cases, it's very clear that we are going to be losing trout streams before the end of the century due to climate change.
Why are trout adversely affected by climate change?
Well, trout are cold water species. They require, in the case of brook trout, very cold water. Anything over, in the summer months, much over 70 degrees, and you probably don't even have a brook trout stream. So brook trout in particular require very cold water. Brown trout are really an Atlantic salmon species. They're the true trout, or salmo. And to that extent, there's quite a bit of what's called genetic plasticity. Brown trout do have the ability to thermally adapt, much more so than the chars and the brook trout. And brown trout can tolerate water for short periods of time, well into the 70s, particularly if they're a subpopulation or a race of fish like we probably have in the Namakogan River, which are thermally adapted to higher water temperatures. So brown trout are going to be a little bit more resilient than brook trout in terms of being able to survive the warmer water temperatures that climate change is going to be giving us.
So you mentioned in lakes, sunfish, bluegills, they'll be okay. They'll be good with warming temperatures in our lakes. What about warming temperatures in our streams and rivers? What fish, if not trout, will do well?
Some of the same species. In particular, some of your larger minnow species like creek chubs, they're going to do really, really well in warmer water temperatures in trout streams. Green sunfish is predicted to be a species that will excel in these type of habitats under water temperatures like this. And in your larger streams, as they gradually peter out as trout streams become more of a cool water, warm water stream, species like smallmouth bass might excel as well.
Anything else you'd like to say on fisheries and climate change, Frank?
Well, climate change is definitely restructuring our fisheries. There's no doubt about it. And if you're looking at cold water and cool water species, everything from brook trout on up to walleye, you're definitely looking at a decline situation, possibly even an extinction situation. If you're interested in sunfish and nyctalurids, the bullheads, the catfish, and a few other true warm water species, then you're probably looking at it's never been better. However, I need to temper that by saying, if you go to the turn of the century and you have a never has been better situation with sunfish and largemouth bass, and all your brook trout and brown trout are gone, our great-grandchildren are probably going to be struggling with a lot more than we don't have brook trout in our streams anymore. The habitat on the entire planet may be pretty near inhabitable for the human race. So we have to take climate change very, very seriously, and we have to start taking action on things like alternative energy right now.
Thank you, Frank, for joining us. We'll be right back on Up North at 4. Jeff and I will be back in the studio. See you in a few minutes.
Menards makes it easy to add a distinctive touch to your home's exterior. Start with Owens Corning Shingles. Nobody has more in stock than Menards. And right now they're all 11% off. Stop leaks on existing roofs with Seal Best 10-year warranty white elastomeric roof coating. It's easy to apply, just brush, roll, or spray. A 4.75-gallon bucket is only $49.99 after 11% rebate. Save with 11% off everything at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, this is State Representative Rob Swearingen. Northern Wisconsin is a great place to grow up and call home. It's where I met my wife, Amy. We raised our daughters. We've run our restaurant for nearly 30 years. We've faced new challenges as a state this year. And as your representative, I've worked hard to help our communities and families get through them. It's an honor to bring our Northwoods values with me to Madison. On November 3rd, I'm asking for your vote for Assembly so that we can continue working together to get things done. Paid for by Friends of Swearingen.
Saturday, October 24th, the Oneida County Solid Waste Department is holding a free Sharps Take Back event. The goal of this event is to provide a safe and responsible way of disposing sharps. The department is accepting needles, syringes, lancets, auto-injectors, and infusion sets. Sharps need to be sealed in a heavy plastic container, laundry detergent bottle, or gallon bucket. For more information, call 715-369-6111. This information is brought to you by the Human Service Center of Forest Violets and Oneida County.
You can grab my hand. I'll be the one behind you to say no. One man band. Just follow your dreams. Keep your promises.
We're all different, but we all want a Medicare plan that meets our needs. That's why we'll help you find yours, even if it's not ours. Register for an online seminar or a one-on-one appointment with a friendly rep today.
Here's how my plan works. Anyone making less than $400,000 a year won't pay a penny more. But I'm going to ask the very big corporations to pay their fair share. We're going to invest in creating millions of good-paying jobs. We're going to ease the burden of the major costs in your life. Healthcare. We're going to protect Social Security, increase the benefits for millions of seniors. When I announced I was running, I said that's the reason, to rebuild the backbone of this country. Hard-working folks in the middle class.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
That's it. That's the show.